Hello there, welcome to another episode of Fort Triumph. This is entering the Dark Cavern. So Leandra has to persuade the ranger that, we must go in here with the icky cocoons and chase your man, because otherwise she won't be able to afford her fees in college. I hadn't been into the cavern before, so I wasn't too sure about what the terrain effects were going to be like. It looked to me that suspiciously like these crystals are movable, and probably the cocoons are movable too, but what happens when you move them, and what's the effect of them, and how useful are they for cover? And we've a rather narrow front as well, which I don't like, because potentially the enemy can overwatch too, one would assume. So Solora is going first, and we have to find a suitable spot for her. I'm willing to push her forward a bit in order to get her into decent cover. And we didn't move Ivy up, but I want to put Ivy into Overwatch, so I don't want to exceed the one action point move. And I do the same with Leandra. Again, I want to put her in Overwatch, and I'm willing, or at least I was willing, to take the risk with Krita because, she's pretty tough, and to move her right up as long as she had cover. And she goes right up and she triggers the bad guys. But not too far away to trigger the Overwatches reliably. The Goblin does it, but the Goblin Mage didn't. And they missed it, because of the extreme ranges. So, not good tactical positioning on my part there. So now I have to figure out, I have a Goblin behind a cocoon, and I must figure out what it is that I want to do. And how exactly am I going to do it. Looking at my options for the different characters. I wanted Ivy to be able to stay in Overwatch, so I wasn't sure whether to move her or just leave her where she was in Overwatch. And I did the same thing. I decided to leave Leandra as well. Moved Krita there because I thought, well, I've covered the cocoon and we can kick the cocoon. Now, the cocoon did a stunning attack on the Goblin and it triggered the Overwatch action. So that gives rid of the Goblin. The trouble is now I have a poisonous spider facing Krita. Move Solara up because I don't know if she has it now or not, but I know she can get an ability where she heals and heals allies in Aurora, which is very useful. But Krita's in trouble at this point, and the Goblin triggers the Overwatch. He doesn't get hit, I don't think. So now we are here. So Solara kicks the pillar into the Goblin. And I've got to get rid of this spider because it's threatening Krita. And I also want to move Leandra up. I would have preferred to be able to move her up and keep Overwatch, but I wanted her sufficiently far forward that she can get a decent Overwatch the next time around. Now Krita's gotten rid of the spider, but the trouble is it's also effectively her cover. The wizard picks Krita and takes her out of the battle. So I'm now a character down. This is a bit of a mess. It's turning into a bit of a mess already. Solara takes care of the Goblin beside her and she's still in cover, which is a good thing I suppose at this point. And now I've got to advance people without taking or exposing too many to different risks. So I decided to go a double move with Ivy. It's slight cover, but it's the best I can kind of do at the moment. And I'm leaving Leandra's Overwatch at the back, and Ivy takes some damage from the wizard. And again, it's too far away to trigger the Overwatch. And we've spotted an intermediate objective. This is the pillars. The supports are holding up the cave. They're allowing Goblin reinforcements to enter into the cavern from wherever the Goblin Shaman has them. The Goblins came through. The caves that they came through. So we have to break this wooden supports in order to collapse the cave, the tunnel, and therefore no more Goblin reinforcements will make it through to the battlefield. So we can just finish off what's left and then continue to track through the cave to where Gharbarak, or whatever his name is hiding out. So now we're taking damage again, and Ivy's been taken out of the fight. Now we have another goblin, but the thing is the goblins keep recycling. But we're running out of characters. And we don't have a good angle here, so I thought, well, can I use the whirlwind? Can I whirlwind this guy out of the way, or can I whirlwind the cocoon or something? But it turns out I can do none of the above, none of these things. And our paladin has taken some more damage, and another goblin has appeared in the fray. Now, Solara is very low on health, and we don't have any other option or potion, but we're going to take out the shaman. So that leaves us with the shaman taken out of the fight, and Solara levels up. So I give her a level ability. It's different from the previous one, and I took the Radiant Beacon thing. We never got to use it. When we move Leandra up, it's a bit of cover. We might be able to get a direct shot on the goblin. Solara's taking more hits, and she's down to 1 hit point, but she should be able to take the goblin. 1 hit, 1 kill. So the goblin's out of action. Now we need to start busting this these pillars. So I decided to fire at the lightning at it. I have a feeling this was just ineffective, that doesn't appear to be doing any damage. And here we have another goblin that I'm better off putting Leandra into Overwatch, rather than using her to try and bring down the pillars. That her weapon isn't just suitable for the job. It's now, however, Solara's move. We put her on the other side of the crystals, and we kick the crystals, and this time we actually take out the goblin. So it's variable damage even for the crystals. So it's back to Leandra, and we try lightning bolting again, and it doesn't seem to make any difference. We still haven't brought down that pillar. And I haven't checked it directly here. It looks like I haven't checked it for its remaining hit points. So this goblin is too close. We just have to get rid of him. We hit him with Thump, and he's out of action. And I'm just hoping that there's enough obstacles in line of sight to prevent any goblins coming out. This time I put Leandra in Overwatch. There is another goblin out. She manages to hit him but not kill him. So that is potentially quite nasty, but we have to move Solara up in order to bring down the Goblin Tunnel. But we do have Whirlwind back in action, so if we can knock the pillar using Whirlwind and just knock on top of the Goblin, we kill the Goblin. So that, well, it's an improvement. We're making progress. However, how are we going to do next? And what are we going to do next? That is the question. Now, what's wrong here is I have Leandra as a level up, and I didn't realise that she had a level up. So I forcibly end the turn without taking the level up. This goblin comes out. Fortunately, he doesn't attack Solara straight away. So I'm using her to attack the structure directly. I suppose the magic must have done damage, because I think it takes more than 1 hit. So we've completed that section. We have a goblin in the room. And this is where things get a little bit messy, because I'm going to try and take out the goblin. And I failed to do so. Goblin's got 4 hit points left. And again, I forget about the level up, you see. I don't notice or realise the level up. So again, I have to force the turn to end. And the goblin turns around, whacks Solara, and I'm now down to 1 character left in the party. At this point I decided, well, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going to complete this section of the mission. I'm certainly not going to complete the whole mission. And that it was time to sort of quit while I was ahead. I got rid of the goblin, but I thought maybe get rid of the goblin and I can respawn them or something. But there doesn't seem to be a way of doing that. So, I finished up just reloading the game. So I went into my load settings and I had to restart from the beginning because I hadn't saved anything. as I'm doing here in the video, just to give me something to show what I'm talking. So yes, you can lose quite badly, and you need to be quite careful and prepared in your tactics in this game. So tune in next week when I redo this, the Battle of the Cave, hopefully with fewer fatalities on the party's side. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and press the like below. If you've not already done so, please subscribe and press the notification button so that you can see all my other videos. I'm uploading a video Monday to Friday every week. Bye for now, and I'll catch you all again soon.